Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report. I'm on the wrong page here. What's that?
You were still with last week?
No, I had it turned over because I was making some notes before we came on here.
I see.
Let's try that again. Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, February 16th. Show number 268. Scott Hammer, Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter from the John Young Racing for First Responders Dave Kemmer studio. Tonight on the show, the infamous Duane Hancock from the Attica Fremont Championship Series, Hoserville, Ohio, On the Throttle, Dirt Nerds podcast, and probably 14 other things involved in racing.
We've got to encourage him to broaden his scope a little bit. He's
kind of lazy. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So
we'll be talking to Duane here in a little bit about all of his various endeavors. Before we get to that, got to mention Big D's Pizza in Clyde. Give them a call right now, 419-547-1444. Order online at orderbigdspizza.com. Check them out. Or check out their new gourmet Reuben Bites with your choice of dipping sauce, just $5.99.
Oh, my.
That's not my thing. I'm very picky, but I shouldn't tell you that. I did go
You
there.
went and you didn't bring anything back. I knew that.
Yeah, we went Saturday night. It was brought back some food. It was good. Very good.
Yeah,
I didn't know they had...
thank you, Scott.
They have funnel fries there.
Really?
I did not know they had funnel fries there.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I was like, holy cow. It's topping on the cake, yeah. Big D's in Clyde, big on taste, not on price. Make sure to contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs from Action Shots to Victory Lane. They have those custom kids cups, 20-ounce tumblers, water bottles, and all kinds of other merchandise. They can putting whatever on them. Your any photos they have, racing photos, racing designs, they can do all kinds of cool stuff. So give Charlie a call right now, 419-476-9978. Well, probably not right now. He might be working. I'm not sure what shift he works.
I don't know.
You can try. You can leave him a message. Just have him call you.
And he'll do that.
He will. Freeze Frame Photos, special moments, frozen in time. Also have to thank Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, and Headhunters Barber Studio and Salon. And I did get a update from Pam from Oakshade Raceway, which we'll be passing along a little bit later in the show. Yes. So there is some news. She's down in Florida.
I've got. Oh, jeez.
It was 82 degrees.
I've got to wait to find out. Oh.
Got some late model tire rules and a couple dates to pass along.
Really?
Yeah.
Late models have to have tires?
Well, they go faster when they have tires, I think. I don't know. Got a little bit of action from this past week. Actually, quite a bit.
Racing Roundup.
So, yeah. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series was at East Bay last Thursday and Friday, and supposed to be there on Saturday, but things happen. Hudson O'Neill won Thursday's deal. That was his first Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win. Friday night, he backed it up with his second.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night, unfavorable forecast canceled the action for Saturday. So didn't miss anything there. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't find it when we got back from Big D's. I was like, where's the race? World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars in action at Volusia Speedway Park. Thursday last week, they weren't in action because rain postponed that to Friday. So they had two features on Friday. David Gravel won the makeup feature, and then he won again later on Friday night. So
good weekend.
Yeah. Saturday, rain cut the action short again. Rain in Florida. It's crazy. They're going to make up, I guess, the rest of that event for, I guess it got cut off right after the dash. They're going to make things up when they return to Volusia on March 5th and 6th.
I saw that.
Did you?
Oh, I thought
you did some prep.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that they actually decided to make it up. They could have said, sorry about your luck, boy.
Yeah. There we go. I disappeared for a minute.
Oh, all right.
What else we got here? The Tezos All-Star Circuit of Champions, they were in action as well. East Bay, Monday and Tuesday. Tyler Courtney picking up 2 wins there. He picked up Monday's win and Tuesday's win.
Did you see that one of our local heroes was there? The blue number 49.
Oh, Brian Ruhlman. I did
Yeah.
see him running with the, what was that? The USAC
Right.
sprint cars. Did he make the feature Monday night? I think I
No, he
saw
did not.
Tuesday night, and
I
he
think
was,
he was
like a lap or
I
a
think
couple
he was-
laps down.
He was the first non-transfer on Monday.
Yeah. But they were talking about him on the broadcast. I remember
Yeah.
they were mentioning something that one of the other drivers told him about bleeders, so that the tires only get up to a certain pressure,
Yeah.
which apparently he wouldn't know. He didn't know about them because you don't use those on the late models, do you?
Not at all.
So there you go. You learn something new. Dirt Car Nationals also in action this week. Volusia Speedway Park. Monday, Hudson O'Neill again. That would have been his, third consecutive win?
Right.
You got the two Lucas Oil, then Monday picks up a win. Tim McCready picked up a win. He had a few second-place finishes. Tuesday night, McCready finally got in victory lane, and he backed it up with another win last night in the finale there of the Dirt Car Nationals.
Yeah.
So,
I was surprised that he didn't have a modified there.
T-Mac?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. His dad, Barefoot Bob McCready, was just a huge hero in big block modifieds over east.
Fair.
And Tim, that's really where he came from.
They had the big blocks modifieds on last night, too, didn't they?
Right. They
Yeah.
did. And again,
Those are the weirdest looking things. I don't know. Maybe I'm just strange, but those
they're
are
different.
they,
And you
Yeah,
talk
this is
about
a little tiny front end.
You talk about a class that has really changed over the years. Back in the 70s and early 80s, they ran coupes and sedans and gremlin bodies, but now they're really aerodynamic.
Okay. I guess we can call that. Let's try to track down Duane here. He was supposed to be with us already. But,
Really?
Yeah, we can move on here, and then...
He's probably busy selling parts somewhere.
Yeah. He doesn't really do much, though. He's pretty laid back. And we got the three little dots, so he's typing. He must be having some... yes, it says in studio. Did I send up the wrong link or something?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what studio he's in.
Fun stuff live. All right, let's see if we can.
Let's try this again.
Let's do this. Do this.
And paste.
Yeah, make sure we send them that link. Is that the link I sent? I think that's what I sent him.
Okay, Scott.
Ew, that's not the link I sent him.
Oh, no.
Where did I get that link from? Crap. So that was my bad. There you go. That's how the sausage is made. It's behind the scenes stuff. So while we wait for Duane here, we'll move ahead just a little bit with some racing news. Should we do the Oakshade thing?
Sure.
I was saving that for later, but
Yeah, we can.
we can do it, or we
Yeah,
can
no.
save.
we-
Okay, I wasn't
yeah,
sure
we-
where you're
no,
going with
we
that.
We should do that.
All right, let me pull up the text here. I don't want to get anything wrong. Well, there's Duane.
Oh,
Oh, I guess we'll have to wait.
we won't do Oakshade.
Psych.
We won't do the Oakshade stuff.
So there's
But
Duane.
we-
I sent
but
you
we
the wrong
will.
link. I put you in the wrong show. Sorry about that.
I wondered because it said it ended like at an hour 30. I'm like, I see. They really want me on. I get it.
I don't know how I did that. That was probably last week's show. So you were, that was a week behind. Anyways, Duane Hancock, welcome to the show.
Yeah, humor the big guy. Tell him he's going to be on the show and then dump him.
That's right. I know it's a trick. I get it.
So you got the Attica Fremont Championship Series going on. You got the Hoserville auction coming up here. You do On the Throttle, Dirt Nerds. You're taking care of a Napa store. Anything else that you do?
Yeah, I got a girlfriend now.
What?
Oh my! Where did you find time for her?
She found time for me. How about that?
Wow.
All right, that's fair. We can go with that. So, yeah. Do you sleep then ever?
Every once in a while. Usually in like January and February, but that hasn't happened this year.
Are you working on any other projects? Because you got to be bored.
Yeah, right. No, not at the moment. I totally took ownership of my store October 1st, and you'd think after run it for 30 years, you would think it would go smooth, but about everything that could happened since then. So, new furnace, totaled vehicles, fun stuff like that too. So,
Oh boy.
Well, which of all the things you do, what is the most stressful?
probably the work. I mean, the racing stuff's pretty easy. I mean, just like we're in our 5th year of the AFCS, starting our 5th year, and I got 4 new sponsors in the last week, and 3 of them got a hold of. Actually, all 4 of them got a hold of me.
That's pretty amazing.
That's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice when you start building that up. You get the momentum, and then they start coming to you.
Well, yeah, and I, got shocked when Kears announced that they was closing down, and
that was a stunner.
Yeah.
yes, and I'm in the process of following up with all my sponsors. So far, they're only ones that obviously not coming back. So I made a post on Facebook like, "Hey, we need a new heat race sponsor," and I literally had 3 people in the first 5 minutes like, "We'll take it, we'll take it, we'll take it,"
Wow.
and I got 2 of those to jump on board. Obviously, I got one Real Custom Fab and chassis repair, Brandon Real. They race 305s, him and his brother Logan. He's our new heat race sponsor. And then B-Fins, which is actually Braden Finsel, was part of the Ray Brooks' team. He's got a new design deal he's trying to start, and he's actually going to be we've never had a Rookie of the Year sponsor, so we're going to pay $250 for the 410 Rookie of the Year and the 305 Rookie of the Year, thanks to Beefin Designs. And then I got Premier Planning Services is brand new, and maybe another SCS Gears is brand new, and then maybe another one, all off one Facebook post.
Now, do you have to come up? Are you to the point where you have to come up with new things to sponsor because you have so many sponsors?
Yes, kind of.
That's not a bad problem to have.
No, because usually I sell weekends then and put the money in the purse because our points fund's pretty established. And then last year we passed out a lot of money, just added to the purse as well. And all of our 410 races are paying $4,000 to win. There's 9 at each track this year, 9 at Fremont, 9 at Attica, and we brought sponsorship for 6 of them. And each track was going to do 2 on their own for sure. So each track stepped up and added a 3rd one. So that way they're all paying $4,000 to win at least. Our finale at Fremont, September 9th, pays $5,000. And we're working on the September 8th show. Maybe we're working on some things for that at Attica. And maybe a few other shows. Then all of the 305 shows is paying at least $1,000 to win, with at least 6 of them right now, I think, paying $1,200 to win. So, once you that's something I want to do because, yeah, it's great to have a big points fund and keep adding the point fund. But what does that do during the season, especially now with prices of tires and everything keeps going up, racing fuel and that. So we started doing some stuff during the season to give up, keep teams coming. That's what it's about.
I wanted to talk to you about the cost to the racers. Do you think that's going to affect our weekly car counts?
Yes, 100%.
Not in a positive way.
No, correct. Yeah, I mean, and I seen you guys got the late model tire price released. I see Dipman did that the other day for like $218 for the Oakshade deal, but right now they're talking $365 for each rear tire for sprint cars.
Wow.
And I heard the fronts, and I haven't confirmed this, but I've heard from a couple teams who went to Florida, a pair of front tires is over $500.
Well, and that doesn't surprise me because that tire is pretty similar to the E-Mod tire, and that's touching $200.
Yeah, so it's going to, and like on the sprint car, like the radius rods and stuff like that, all went up 25% this winter too. So I think well, we've already had three. I mean, what a shock! Talking about shocks, Raybrook Racing, our championship team, our reigning championship team for the 410 series, shutting its doors.
Wow.
Closing down, and then we had Chad Wilson sell out over the winter, and I've heard Troy Vaccaro sold out too. So there's three local teams, that sold out, and I've had three this week call and tell me they're running our stuff and then picking and choosing after that because they just don't think they're going to have the money to race, every single week.
I completely understand, and despite what the news says about fuel prices coming down, I haven't seen it.
No. And, this Hoosier deal, we could talk about that all day, but, this new tire, all this is supposed to be more durable and it's cheaper, this whole big smoke screen of, we're going to do all these, make it more simple, but it sure it's not that way for the sprint cars. It went up $60 almost over the winter. So, I mean, and we had this discussion on Dirt Nerds. We had Trey Jacobs on talking about tracks and drivers and the money because, and you guys know, especially on the late model and sportsman end of it, I mean, they get less than sprint cars. But these local tracks like Attica, and Fremont, Attica's, mid $30,000 to kick the gates open. Fremont's like 28 to 30. And, how much more do you pay? Because, I mean, they're losing money some races last year. So, I mean, it's a catch-22 right now because all expenses went up for the racetracks. So, that's why the series, I think, is actually going to hopefully do really well this year. We got some rookies. We got Creed Kemenall moving up to the 410s. Bryce Lucius is moving up to the 410s. So those two right there will be addition. And then not sure. I know Chris Verda's got a 410, so I don't know exactly what he's going to do. Casey Jetterzak does too, but he's going to race. He's not racing our series. He's going to race a few races, but he's going to kind of hit like Wayne County and Atomic and some stuff down south. So, we're getting some cars, but we're losing some cars too. So I think it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out and be interesting for 305s. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how those guys are going to afford new tires, but thankfully, Attica, I know Fremont really hasn't announced yet, but Attica is using the whole season for burn off of the old tires. So then that'll be a blessing for the 305s big time because, they a lot of times you get the used tires from the 410s and it'll give the 410s still an avenue to get rid of some of the old ones. So,
and Attica is doing the same thing for the late models.
Yes, correct. Which I think that's a smart move. It's like, why do you want to handicap yourself by a, some of these tracks I see is only doing May and June, which I don't know why you want to handicap yourself and tell your drivers, hey, you absolutely have to buy the new tire,
Especially during the months where you're likely to have a few rainouts.
Exactly, 100%, because that's a big topic of discussion in the off season. And I had my ideas and everybody kind of had their ideas and Attica kind of stepped up first, says, we're just going to do the whole season. So that was better than my idea mid-July. So,
right.
And I think you're going to have to. I mean, it's, I know there's a lot of pride on both ends, the tracks and the drivers and teams, but there's going to have to be a lot of give and take, I think, this year to maintain good car counts weekly at the tracks.
To the point where are point funds and perfect attendance going to be a moot point?
Yes. Right. I mean, I'm hoping, we pay the top 10 and I think we'll be good. Like I said, I got some teams telling me we got 18 shows for each division. And I've had several teams tell me, even 305 teams, we're doing your 18 shows and then just seeing where the money's at and going from there, which stinks for the local tracks because the whole idea of the series is kind of keep local sprint car racing strong. But, it's going to be hard if you take the two tracks. I mean, I think Attica has 23 410 shows. Granted, 2's outlaw shows, and there's 2, 4, 5 all-star shows. So you take 6 away from that. So you're at 17 local shows. Right. And Fremont is, I think, about 19. So, you're talking 36 local shows. I think that's going to be hard for somebody to hit all 36 local shows.
I think you're right.
Unless you got a big wallet.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Yes. I mean, yeah. Or get a big sponsor.
Really dedicated.
Yes. And I mean, I'm sure there'll be some that do it, but I think it's going to be hard to get 15 guys do it,
What about the rules? I saw something about wing sliders that
Yeah, there was 305's been wanting wing sliders for a long time, and there were some off-season meetings, and it was talk like maybe it'd happen, but then upon further review, when a new wing slider came out that cost $1,400, it's like, why do you want to add $1,300 or $1,400 more dollars to 305? Because, okay, you can say, everybody's going to buy the cheap one that's $200, but we all know, because it's racing,
somebody won't.
Yes, you'll get 2 guys that don't. Then that just opens up a can of worms, and and we're having tech. That's one huge thing. 305s since day one. This is my 5th year, and before I even said I was going to do this, or agreed to do it, I should say, when they approached me and the rumor was already out that I was going to do something, I told them, give me a couple weeks to decide. That day one, I started getting calls about 305 tech, and I've just never been comfortable with the couple. I mean, with true tech, engine tech, and stuff like that. It's like you got to find the right person. The 1 knows how to do it, 2 has the equipment, and 3's not going to take any crap. And we've tried and tried, and we finally have Rich Farmer has stepped up, and I mean, some people are probably like, wow, that's surprising. But Rich is he's going to do tech for Attica and for the series. And we've talked, and Fremont's on board with it. Attica's on board with it. The series is on board with it. And we'll be right there too. Rich and I have the same ideas of how we want to tech. I mean, when him and I first started talking about this, there wasn't one thing we didn't see eye to eye on. I mean, we both had the same mindset and the same goals. And, he's done it before, obviously, because he, had the fast series at one time, ran Fremont Speedway at one time, and did tech. And so that's your warning for 305 guys. Do not bring in an illegal car because there's going to be tech. I don't know if Attica, I know he's going to be doing Attica regular shows. I don't know if it's going to be the first one, and he's not going to just do engine tech. He's going to do safety check too, belts, helmets, suits, seats, and suggest mounting deals and stuff too. I mean, it's going to be a full onslaught of, I've been harped for 5 years to have a good safety check and a good check for a 305. So now I don't want to hear anybody complain if they get disqualified.
Well, they'll come up with something else to complain about.
Oh, yeah.
Duane, one of our listeners, and it really feeds right into what you've been talking about, what are your opinions on the 602 crate engine sprint cars? And he had a follow-up question on what's the cost of a 305 sprint engine?
Well, that's the thing. And I mean, the 602 and the race saver sprints and that, we have some of them come up to 305s, and I don't think it's a bad idea. Our problem is ours is more of an open, and yes, there's some guys spending $25,000 on them, or maybe more. Some of the top teams but you got Paul Weaver. I guarantee he ain't spending that much, but you got some people.
I'm sure.
You got some guys, putting some big money out there, but the problem is, okay, so we averaged 31 305s last year for the series. And some races we had 39. So now you got to tell these cars, every one of them, you got to buy a different engine.
Right.
you got to buy a new engine. So, I mean, maybe if the car count struggles and gets down there, it'd be more feasible to do it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad concept at all. But it's hard to go to all these teams and say, okay, next year, all these engines are going to be no good.
Well, and with the fendered cars and the modifieds, you can handicap them with weight, but that's a tough deal with the sprint cars.
Yes, it is, especially, yeah, it is. And there was talk, because a big thing like with Outlaws, and they come to Attica twice, is the fire suppression deal. And there's an ideas floating around that maybe they'd give up some weight for the 410s if you had a suppression system. But because here you are adding more cost to the local sprint cars, so that's why it's not being mandated, just highly recommended. But it's $700. And now I say that, but $700, but the system I've seen is pretty low maintenance, pretty safe. And, to me, it's kind of cheap insurance for the fires, especially as many sprint car fires as we had last year. Thank God we didn't have a lot local. We had Jimmy McCune, which that'll go into our Hoserville deal a little bit too, because we helped him last year. He had a fire, but something like that.
That was a pretty tough deal.
Yeah, $700. Might have saved him a lot of
he would have traded $700 in a heartbeat.
Exactly. So I know it's $700, but I think if you go with that race line system, I mean, it can go off, and it's not all the powdery stuff. I see a demonstration at PRI. You can stick your cell phone in it and take your cell phone out and still use it. I mean, it's a chemical that kind of suffocates the fire, instead of all that, the old school white powder stuff. Right. And so, there was talk about doing some weight deals with that, but that ain't going to happen right now, because you just can't mandate a bunch of stuff like that right now with the way cost is already.
I wanted to actually get to the Hoserville, Ohio deal, but one last question here on
Sure.
the AFCS. Any chance another track might be added to that series at some point in the future? Maybe like a Waynesfield or something?
Probably not.
Just keep it Attica Fremont?
Yeah, well, there was talk. There's been talk. I mean, I trust me, I get calls all the time. I could take it to 4 different tracks right now. Easily 4. And that ain't saying that I may not help someone, like in a non-official capacity, sometime do that. I've had somebody approach me about that, kind of unofficial when we're off a couple times. But the whole idea of the series is, it's local sponsors and local businesses, cashing in extra money to local racing. So it's hard to take that on the road. I mean, that's kind of what got Fast Series in trouble. When it was Attica Fremont, started out Attica Fremont Series, and then it started traveling some, and then it became a traveling series, and that's what left the void for us, to come in and kind of do something at Attica and Fremont to keep that strong. So as far as the series, it'll never be anything beyond Attica and Fremont, but they ain't saying on some off weekend, especially early or late season or something. I've had a few people approach me about, well, what if they did like an unofficial deal, like especially late season? And I'd love to have a late season race. You see some of these places that used to race in October and have big specials and stuff, and especially on your late model end and stuff. And there's times you get guys from all over, and that's something I think we don't capitalize around here. Eldora used to kind of do that October deal and have, great crowd and great cars. I know the weather's goofy, but it'd be cool to have something like that somewhere around here.
Something like the Dealer's Choice race used to be in Michigan.
Yeah, or U.S. Dirt Nationals. It used to have a Terre Haute in different places. And, and I've had somebody approach me about if they ever did something like that to help them, and 100% I would help them.
Yeah, the weather in October is either great or not.
True.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the bad part, especially if you punch out, if you say you make 2 or 3 division deal and make it 60, say you're paying out 60 grand, then your other expenses. Yeah, that's a big risk. So somebody's going to have a lot more money than me. or a lot more intestinal fortitude.
I was going to say that's not what I heard, but okay.
So the Hoserville, Ohio Injured Drivers Fund auction's coming up on Saturday, April 8th at Attica, 2 o'clock. That's All-Star weekend, isn't it?
Correct. This will be our 3rd year of doing that. It's worked out great because obviously we're playing off the All-Star crowd, and it's worked out good because it's harder and harder to get items. And nothing against teams and stuff, because you see a lot of teams selling. This is our 20th year, which is amazing alone to me that we've been doing it for 20 years. When we first started this, it was easy to get wing panels, fuel cells, anything. But now a lot of people are doing it and selling them at their souvenir stands, door
That's
panels.
Part of the revenue stream.
Yes, exactly. And I can't blame them. I can't, as much as expenses are nowadays, I can't blame them. So it's harder and harder to get stuff. But, the last few years, we used to have, sometimes 130, 40 items. And, last few years, we've been around 60 items and made more money. Because I think it's just the crowd. You got, we've had our loyal supporters forever. And, but you bring in some people. We had some people coming from Pennsylvania that never been to our auction, never been to Attica. Like, hey, this would be cool. And they've come back every year now so far, and you get some people like that, and they buy something. And so teaming up that All-Star weekend has helped out, I think, a lot. And this year being the 20th anniversary, kind of would like to make it big. I have a feeling some of the truck drivers might show out a little bit because they've been very supportive the last 2 years, and we helped out RJ Cornett quite a bit when he got hurt there at Fremont, last year. And, Jimmy McCune, guys like that, we helped out quite a bit last year. And we got some neat things. Cap Henry, we got a driver's uniform from him already. Maybe getting something else from him. I just today or yesterday, I don't even see. This is my problem. You ask me when I don't sleep. Sometimes I'm like, okay, that was yesterday, today, whatever day. I just got word from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm going to get 2 tickets to the Grand Prix IndyCar race May 13th.
All right.
Then, unfortunately, I lost my dad a month ago, and we started going through his racing collection, and Mom and I talked because Dad, that's part of this deal when we started. They come and helped out the auctions when we first started that. And it's like, some of this stuff, it can sit in my drawer until the same thing happens to me, or we can, put some of it in the auction and go to a good cause like, we've always done as a family. And so got some neat things. I got from his collection, we got a 1990 Knoxville Nationals belt buckle, which was 30th year, and it's our first ever. That was our first trip. We went as a family to the Knoxville Nationals, first trip out there. So we got that. So it's never been used. It's got the '89 winner Doug Wolfgang on it, and then we have a pocket watch. It's never been used of Dale Earnhardt Sr., a collector's pocket watch. We got a Dale Jr. collector knife. Autographed Frankie Kerr pitcher, autographed Kelly Kinzer pitcher. So we got some stuff like that from Dad's collection we're putting in there, and going to raise some money for the drivers too, because we definitely know that's what he'd want to do.
Now, a little bit of background for people that aren't familiar with the Hoserville, Ohio auction. You have all these items, and people are donating these items to be auctioned off, and all that money that you collect then goes into that fund, helping out people that have been injured. Like you said, RJ Cornett and Jimmy McCune. How many people do you on an average year? How many people are you helping out that have been injured? It
just depends on. We try to help anybody in the area that we know about. That's a problem. Sometimes you don't know about it, and I'll get a call maybe a couple months later. It's like, man, you didn't help this guy. It's like, well, I didn't know anything happened. And that gets harder and harder, that part. But I got some people help me with that. But, this is our 20th year. I know we've helped like 104 or 5 different drivers. And I know we've passed out a couple $100,000, and we're a registered 501c3. We're a nonprofit. None of us take a dime. This is, we've volunteered 20 years. It started out with a bunch of us, and it's down to pretty much myself. Greg Smith helps me out a little bit still, but all the other original members haven't been around for 12 years or so. And my daughter helps out a lot. And then we get some other people, my buddy Bruce Beard, and just some racing fans that always want I'm like, yeah, come on and help, you know. And Elliot from Dirt Nerds, he helps out some now too. So, you know, it's kind of neat because our motto's always been, and some people's like, man, why do you have that for an auction? I don't care. I want it. Whether you got $1 or $1 million, I want you to feel that you can buy something at our auction. That's you know, because some people, you know, I mean, especially this is our 20th year, and it's like we've never been okay. Hey, because I've been to a lot of benefit auctions, especially racing ones, and God bless Knoxville. I like them out there, but you can't go out there to that auction they have every year at the Nationals. If you got $200 in your pocket, you may get one thing. I mean, you know, I mean, stuff goes high dollar, and I don't want it to be that way. I want it to be, if you got $2, that might be all somebody's got to donate, you know, or to give. And it's like, I want something that if you got $2 and you want to buy it, you can do it.
Now, are you still accepting donated items from people?
100%. We don't have a whole lot yet. And I always scramble and I always get nervous, even after 20 years, like, man, we don't have a whole lot. And our local teams are awesome. I mean, they come through in the clutch all the time. I shouldn't be nervous after 20 years, but I get nervous still. Like, man, we only got 20 items right now. And we get a lot show up race or auction day. Then we get some other stuff here and there. And I sent some requests out this year. I was actually on it a little bit. Usually about time I think of sending requests out to different things. It's too late. So, well, that's how the indie deal happened. So hopefully some of these other, maybe we can get some other things from some other bigger venues too. I've never asked them. And I'm like, hey, this is our 20th year. We kind of make it a little special. This is just something we, as race fans, have done on our own, and just volunteer our time forever, and kind of like to make it a little big this year.
So that people just need to get a hold of you if they have something they want to donate to be auctioned off. Yeah,
message me on Facebook or Hoserville Ohio Facebook, or myself on Twitter. My follow AFCS page, Dirt Nerds page, On the Throttle Facebook, any method that'll get to me. And we said we're 501c3, so we're nonprofit. Take credit cards, debit cards, cash, checks, your race car, whatever. I mean, I'll drive a night for payment, you know.
Hey, I still have a roof in my garage you can have.
Yeah.
I got a Brian Smith sprint car wing.
Sweet.
It's used, but it's yours. It's yours if you want it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get that figured out.
Chris Mize won't let me use it at the hangover race anymore. So now
what the heck?
That's in my garage.
Terrible.
I know.
It really is.
Yeah.
So how much money did you end up raising last year?
I want to say it was like $4,800, $4,900, something like that. We've been over 4,000 the last probably 9 years straight. So, you know, our fund's not humongous, which doesn't hurt my feelings a lot. I mean, I'd love to have it huge, but once you get so far in the nonprofit world, as I found out one time in life, it opens up a whole new revenue or avenue of licensing and lawyers and and fun stuff that, hey, I was just trying to help, but end up costing you $700 and stuff. So, but I mean, we maintain a pretty decent amount in there. I mean, it's, you know, been taking some hits here pretty hard the last few years because we've upped, you know, at first when we first started, we didn't know whether to give people, you know, $300 or, you know, $1,000 or what, you know, it just depends. And we've kind of got that down and trial and error. And we've helped people like, you know, we've helped a lot of different people. And like one of the stories that still comes all the time is Nick Neighbor, and he'll tell you this till the day he dies. Probably, I mean, he hasn't raced forever, but he still seeks me out every time he sees me at a race. And he got hurt at Eldora one time, and we gave him enough money for groceries for a month. He couldn't work, and man, that guy. I mean, you would have thought we, bought his house for him. And we did stuff like that just to help out, because you guys know what it's like, the local racers, that if you can't work for a while, and one we was going to lose, he thought he was going to lose his truck because he couldn't make his truck payment. So we made a truck payment, just stuff like that. So you don't lose your your way of life. So we've helped out some people that way, and, paid some medical bills for them. And, like RJ, we gave him money for that medical bills last year.
Did you see that RJ's going over to the dark side this year?
I seen that.
That's crazy.
He's gone to the pavement.
I seen that. What happened to that kid?
But your driver fund, you help out the asphalt racers as
yes.
well. It's all racers.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And yeah. And like I said, at first we started out sprint cars, and my goal was to expand it to all, and that's what we've done now. I mean, but we had to start somewhere, and it literally started. I know you guys are gonna find this hard to believe, but it literally started over a few beers in the grandstands of Fremont Speedway one night.
No,
that's shocking.
So once we're talking, it's like, what can we do to help, to give back? And and I kind of helped spearhead it, and then I ended up spearheading it and figuring out what we need to do legally, and we had my lawyer write up, all the legal stuff and get all that done. And we had at the time actually the track promoter at Fremont, the track promoter at Attica, which happened to be Jim Ford and Janet Holbrook, paid for our legal fees to start the organization. And it's always been kind of cool to give back a little bit. I mean, sometimes we get crap because we don't advertise as much as we should, but we've never done it for showmanship. I mean, it's just we're there to help. I had somebody. It's funny because I had somebody last year. It's like, what do you get out of all this? Like, I don't know. I just love racing, and I'm not rich enough to buy all the race teams that I want. So this is one hell of a way to help give back.
Absolutely. Do you miss the car show at all? I'm assuming that you have a much larger crowd and fan base doing it part of the All-Star weekend.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. The car show is always good because our problem is we get a permanent home going, and then we'd lose it. We started out at Findlay, then we lost it. Then we had Tiffin, then we lost it. Then we got VG, then we lost it. And then we did Fremont Speedway. They did that pre-race party at the racetrack, the fairgrounds, first year. Had there, thought we had a good thing going. Then they decided not to do it anymore. So we come up with the All-Star weekend. My thing is, I've never wanted to do it during a race weekend just because it's weather dependent. If the All-Star race gets canceled, we cancel the auction because there ain't gonna be nobody there, and who's gonna drive? So that's the only thing that sucks is then we have to have it on the rain date, which happened last year. Actually got rained out till the next weekend. So and I thought, we've never had that happen before, and I thought, well, that's gonna really screw up our crowd, but actually it didn't. But it's just I guess we're pretty established, which to me, I don't know. I always still think nobody's going to show up and all that, and I get nervous about it, but the same people show up, then new people, so I guess that's always a good thing. And I appreciate everybody's support. That's what I've always told everybody. I may put all the thing together, but it takes everybody. All the people come out and support it, just like the AFCS. I get a lot of the recognition, but if it wasn't for the sponsors and the fans and everybody, the teams that help, it wouldn't be nothing.
Right.
Dean had a good question here. How'd you come up with the name for the Driver's Fund?
So hoseheads.com. I was a writer on there. I'm still supposed to be, but I haven't wrote an article for a while. But see, that's one thing I'm slacking on. I tell people read my article. It's like, dude, you haven't wrote an article for a while. I'm like, yeah, one of these days. But there was a Hoserville, California, same way. There's still a Hoserville, California, but actually, we met those guys. They come up to Eldora, and we met them at Knoxville, and they did an injured drivers fund, but then they put on a race every year too. Like they do benefits, and they would do injured drivers, but then they actually promoted a Hoserville, California race each year at a track. So they did kind of like 50-50. They did. And it's like, okay, well, we want to do something like that because, and that's what the one member told us. Unfortunately, he's passed away here. Oh, man, probably longer than I think. It's probably been 8-9 years ago. Car Wash Mike, because everybody's got a nickname. and he's the one that's like, we look at it as not what can my track do for me? What can we do for our track? And that's kind of the attitude we took on it too. And so we kind of asked them if it'd be cool if we kind of branched off of their name and did Hoserville, Ohio. And Ellen Holland from Hose Heads, he was cool with it, and he helped donate some money the first few years, and he helps every once in a while still. And it just kind of went hand in hand, and it's worked out. We've kind of focused ours more with the injured drivers part. I mean, we have done a few things, give away a little bit of money here. Then some people kind of got mad at us, and it's like, well, it's all going to the drivers. So we pretty much just do the injured drivers deal with it. So
did you have a hand in the Oakshade Attica late model deal? Was that one of your things?
For the last 3 years, last 4 years.
Is that still a thing? Is that happening still?
You
still involved in it?
I don't know. Nobody's talked about it. Rex, is retired, and I don't know. Andrew hasn't really said anything about it. I know a couple people, if we do it, I know we're losing a couple of people, sponsorship wise, but I don't know. Nobody said it. It was basically me and guy that there used to be 3 of our stores, and one guy bought 2 and I bought 1. And even though we're not together, we still try to help each other out. So he jumped as him and I, then Elliot at Dirt Nerds, and then a business in Pettiesville. But I know we're losing a couple if we do it. So I don't know. That's a good question because nobody's brought it up.
I did.
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Well, let me know if you hear anything.
If Andrew's listening, I'll probably get a text. Because I don't know, because Rex kind of headed that up, and I honestly don't know if he told Andrew. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what. Nobody's brought it up.
Okay.
But yes, the last 3-4 years,
it's been a while.
Go with that thing. Yeah, at least the last 3 years. Maybe last 4.
I remember Ron giving you the business about doing something for the late models, and then you
Not
actually
me.
did.
Don't feel bad. Missler and Shields do all the time too.
All right.
Speaking of Dirt Nerds, you want to plug all your other various media outlets on the throttle, Dirt Nerds. You're probably on other things.
Yeah, Dirt Nerds. That's easy to listen to. Regular podcast we do every Monday night. That's the easy one for me. I'm just the dummy sitting there talking to the microphone. Elliot does all the production and everything. So that's the easy one for me. All I can do is drive to Archbold and talk, which some people say I'm good at. I don't know. But we do that on Mondays. We got good connections there with the Whistle Stop down by Eldora. They help us out a lot for that, and propane.com. And then we had this week's is great because we had Trey Jacobs on, and he's kind of started out Twitter because Trey, like Trey says, he said, people probably think I'm on there bitching a lot, but he goes, I'm just concerned about the sport. And he's always talked about money. So said, hey, I ain't afraid to have you on, and we can talk about money of what the teams expect. And I can tell you a little bit of, tracks ain't making as much money as some of these people think they are. Especially last year. I mean, there's sometimes I know that our local tracks didn't make money. And, if you lose 10,000 this night, yeah, you might make up some money on your big show, but how many nights do you lose? So it's, right now it's tough. I mean, and we see it all over. I mean, Rockford, Illinois is closing, East Bay's closing. I see a track in Alabama, 3 this week, and unfortunately, I think there's going to be more of that.
Speaking of East Bay closing, I did hear they added another show to the last show. I think is going to be Lucas Oil Late Model Series now in
October of 2024.
October 24?
Yeah, because it's on my on my birthday. So that tells me I've never been there. So I think that's an invitation to
definitely.
I think. I mean, but yeah, we do Dirt Nerds there, and then on the throttle, the Q96.5 we live stream through plus the TuneIn app, and it's crazy because I get people from Australia. I get people from Australia listening all the time. It's crazy. And England, United Kingdom, I had somebody come up to me that they just listen to On the Throttle or Dirt Nerds. But every Monday, just after noon news is on till about 6 to 8 after, and we go to 1 o'clock. It's the Q96.5 WQCT Bryan, Ohio. Get on the website and you can live stream or tune in app. Look for it there. So we tried to do good there. Jim, he's got a show he hosts every Monday morning, and I'm come in with On the Throttle and host that hour, and Jim helps out, and Jim does all the production, and I've got him to some races. He never been. He grew up in Troy, so he went to Eldora when he was a little kid, but he hadn't been there for 50 years. And it took him a couple years ago, and we've had him to Waynesfield and a few places. So we're getting him more and more race knowledge every day. So it works out pretty good. And we've been getting a lot of local racers, especially go-kart racers. We got a couple good go-kart racers here in our region that have been doing really well. So we do everything on there. We bring late model racers, the go-kart racers. We've had BMX bicycle racers, motorcycle. I mean, everything. Sprint car racers, pavement, dirt, anything. We cover it all there.
Quarter midgets.
Yes. Yep. Everything.
All right. Well, we got to get going here, Duane. We appreciate you coming on. As always, we do every time you join us.
Yes, I appreciate you having me on. Like I said, to me, I mean, you guys help out too. I mean, if you don't help us promote this stuff, I mean, to me, it helps us make it successful as anything else. And before we go, is Ron racing this year? You gonna race, Ron?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I don't know that it's going to be the schedule that I have in the past. Last summer, between being sick a little bit and the engine being sick, and parts being a real challenge, I only got a few shows in, so
yeah.
It'll be more than last year, but I don't know it'll be all week or every week somewhere.
It
awesome.
probably will be every week,
but yeah,
it'll probably be every week. That's
you think? Think Hammer would buy you a car and just be your car owner and then make it easier on you?
You would think.
Yeah.
I think you got that backwards. You need to switch that around. You got the auction, the Hoserville Ohio auction coming up Saturday, April 8th, Attica, 2 o'clock. Unless the weather's bad, then it'll be the following week, right?
Yeah, or the time frame's going by what's scheduled race time right now. So if it happens to bump it up because of weather, say if they start hot laps at 2 instead of 4 like they're supposed to, well, then we'll bump it up to noon or something. That's the only reason I don't like having it during a race, but fans have been good so far. It's worked out good for
They'll be there.
For the first 3 years, and hopefully it'll be good again.
And what's the first Attica Fremont Championship Series
April 21st and 22nd. We got 18 races, 9 at each track. Each track has a standalone event, and the rest are back-to-back weekends. So we spread it out a little more this year, a few more off weekends. So we have April 21st and 22nd, and then come right back the next weekend. And then we're off.
Which track is that the first weekend? Is that Fremont?
Attica and Fremont both, yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I got you. So Friday at Attica, then Saturday at Fremont.
Yep, and all the 410 shows are 4,000 to win. So hopefully, it's interesting. I've had some interesting emails from people or questions from some teams. I think we're actually going to have at least 1, maybe 2 Western PA teams come run the whole AFCS series this week or this year. That Mike Lutz Jr. And then one of the cars that travel with him, I think they've been quizzing me about racing. Sounds like they're going to come race with us, at least all the AFCS shows. So not sure that, I mean, that's their intent right now, anyways, and said maybe a couple other guys. And I've had amazingly enough, a couple other Pennsylvania teams in that area say some
So
stuff to me
you
about
could see an invasion of the posse.
Bragging rights are going to be on the line.
maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Lots of them came down a lot on Saturdays last year at Fremont. They come. I can't think of her name. There's a female racer that comes with him, Shelby something. I can't remember her name, but they're both young. They're both teens, and they said they want to race Attica and Fremont pretty much every weekend. The way it sounds this coming season. So we'll see if that happens. We all know how that goes at times. So, but yeah, it could be interesting. So yeah, it'd be cool to get a couple people like that in there. Pennsylvania, and we know we're gonna have a new champ unless Cap's in the 33 car. They haven't made up their mind what they're doing yet. Cap was a champion and DJ is a champ, but Cole's not coming back to defend the title, and Ray Brooks Racing is closed now too. So we'll have a new championship team or a repeat one. You never know. So, we've had Buddy, we've had Cole the last 3 years, we've had a California invader. So,
You're making
get that.
It's the AFCS is a series that makes big names or future
hopefully
big names.
Well, yeah, Cap won our title, went the All-Stars. Buddy lost the title by 2 points to Cap that year, and that's we seen where he went, and then Cole's been doing good and won the title last year. So yeah, that's my story. I like it. Yeah, that's good.
So if you want to see who the future of the sport's going to be, make sure to check out all the
AFCS. Big names start here.
That's right.
There you go. All right, Duane, we appreciate it. Good luck and everything. And again, I got that.
Thank you.
I got that sprint car wing and
okay.
Stuff. If you get to the Sylvania area, give me a call.
Yeah, I will. I usually get up there still, even though I don't have a race car. I still hang out with the Wilsons a lot, so we'll have to figure that out. I'll bring my big company van up, and I usually do anyways. I got to make a run. I got some other stuff I can pick up, so I'll figure out a date and just start picking up some items.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
And it sounds like some other folks might be getting a hold of you as well.
Awesome.
So.
Good. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody too, all of our sponsors, all the supporters for auction series, everything. Because said if it wasn't for them, I'd just be a guy sitting in the stands.
And let me know if you get any updates on the Oakshade Attica late model thing too.
I'll let you know. I'll ask Andrew. We talk quite a bit, so it hasn't been brought up, but I will say something to him.
Awesome. Good luck and everything. Get some rest.
All right, thanks. You guys have a great night.
Bed,
Thanks for having me on.
All right, we'll see you, Duane.
Yep. Bye.
There you go. Duane Hancock. Always great talking to him. Very busy guy. Very busy.
He is. If you want to get something done, talk to a busy person.
There you go. Oakshade Raceway, we're the fastest meet to race. They're one of our sponsors. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. There's going to be a post on Facebook here shortly after we're done.
Really?
I believe so. I have not gotten any directive as to not. So, yes, There will be a post there. So if you don't follow them on Oakshade Raceway or on Facebook, then you may miss this very important announcement. Also, Ron Miller Race Cars, 734-856-7223, just across the Ohio-Michigan border there in Lambertville. He's got race cars, parts, safety equipment, service.
Yeah, just
cars.
2 miles north of Alexis Road.
There you go.
We're easy to find.
Everything a racer needs. Give Ron a call. And we've got just a little bit of racing news to cover here. We do have a Hammer Down Hotline call. Yeah, it was actually a call this week. And it's for you, actually. And we're going to be giving away some Big D's Pizza, but we'll be wrapping things up here shortly. So let's get some
latest racing news.
So as some of the news we've already kind of mentioned here, talking to Duane, Cap Henry announced a new partnership with Jeff Ward Motorsports for the 2023 season. Cap's going to drive the 33W in multiple All-Star Circuit Champions, High Limit, and World of Outlaw events throughout the 2023 season. He'll also be competing locally at Attica and Fremont. Full schedule will be announced at a later date. Also mentioned Rex Lejeune. He was named the 47th Annual Auto Racing Promoter of the Year for Region 3. So apparently we're in Region 3.
Oh, okay.
But well-deserved, and
Yeah.
he's going to be missed. I mean, he'll still be around, but he's just kind of stepped down.
I can't imagine him just disappearing.
Yeah. Another thing mentioned while we were talking to Duane, Kier's Speed Shop closing down. They announced they're going to be closing their doors as of March 21st. The business is for sale, and any interested parties should contact Kier's before February 20th.
51 years in the same location.
Is it Tiffin? Is that where's
Yes.
that? Okay. So, yeah. I remember getting fuel from them at Fremont, or Findlay, when Millstream was running. Wow, I guess it was like 8-9 years ago now. This year's Daytona 500 is sold out. So if you wanted to go down to Florida for that on Sunday, well, you're going to have to watch from outside. This is the 8th consecutive sellout for the 500. So the past 8 years has been sold out.
Really?
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that, too. Tony Stewart's going to be back on the drag strip. Tony Stewart announced Tuesday that he will compete full-time in the NHRA Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series in a top alcohol dragster fielded by McPhillips Racing. So
Really?
Tony's going drag racing. I believe he's in the booth, isn't he, for Fox for the Daytona 500? So he's a busy guy too, and he's got his SRX series. Hendrick Motorsports continues its dominance at the Daytona 500 pole qualifications. Alex Bowman won the Daytona 500 pole for the third time in his career last night and extended Hendrick Motorsports' streak of poles to 16 in the Daytona 500, the most of any team in the NASCAR Cup Series. It's also the 6th straight Daytona 500 that Bowman has started on the front row. Kyle Larson will start the 500 next to Bowman, making it an all Hendrick Motorsports front row. Travis Pastrana and 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson both locked their cars into the 500 as well through qualifying. Because Jimmy Johnson's coming back first time in a few years.
With the franchises,
he doesn't have the
with the franchises,
he doesn't have the guaranteed locked in starting position. He had to actually earn it, and he did. So good for him. And then the Oakshade notes. I forgot about that almost.
Oh yeah, you had some Oakshade.
Hey, I did.
Notes.
I had this up here.
Insider information.
So here we go. I did not even in my notes here. It's on my text. The 2023 UMP late model tire rule at Oakshade. You will be allowed to use up your late model 20, 30, or 40s the entire year. We will also allow Hoosier late model 2, 3, or 4.
Which is the new compound.
Those are the new
that was
compounds.
just introduced.
So basically, the
You'll
new compounds just have no zeros after them.
Now, are they following Attica's lead on
Yes.
that? You can use whichever tire all year.
Correct.
That's pretty cool.
So that's yes. That's for the UMP late model tire rule at Oakshade. A couple of dates announced, and we've kind of been talking about this. First race will be Saturday, April 29th, with Sportsman, Dominator, Superstocks, and Compacts. Sorry, Ron, no late models on opening night.
Oh, now they did that the last couple of years, didn't they, Scott?
Well, usually we get rained out.
I know.
So then it falls to a late model show, but I don't remember.
Okay. I thought the late models. It's probably like Lima Land canceling the late models because they felt that we brought the rain.
No, I think I explained this before. It's because it's opening night and they got to get everybody checked into the system, and it's just one extra class, and it kind of makes things a little more stressful for them to get things on schedule. Saturday, May 6th will be the second show. That'll be the first night for the UMP late models. Sportsman, Dominator, Superstocks, and Compacts also in action then. And then racing continuing every Saturday night through September. A complete schedule will be forthcoming.
Oh, yeah.
So there's your Oakshade Raceway update. Hot off the press. That was actually breaking news. That should have had.
Were there any
that was breaking news.
anything new for the Dominator Super Stocks as far as rules?
Yes. Stay tuned. There's yes.
More to come.
Yeah. So we'll have more information on that. How about we give away some pizza? Anybody have any problem with that?
No, I like pizza.
How many?
Last week's how many was how many total points would be scored in the Super Bowl, plus the number of World of Outlaws at Volusia.
Right.
So the total number of points in the Super Bowl was 73.
Yep.
Plus, and they did start racing at Volusia before it got rained out.
Did
so
they? Okay.
This number counts. 36 they had there. So total, if my math is correct, 109 was the winning number.
If I remember right, you one-upped me last
I did.
week.
You picked 72. I picked 73. So finally, I went the right direction there. Our listener winner, Doug Frost. Congratulations. You picked 86. He was the highest pick.
All right.
And he will get a Big D's pizza. 30 days to claim his pizza. And, get with Dean or, what's happening? Somebody's spinning around at Daytona. Ooh, what happened there?
I don't know. I thought he was leading.
A yellow 22 car is all Muji'd. Oh, that's too bad. So, anyway, this week's how many? A chance to win a
Scott
Big
and I are
D's pizza.
multitasking, just in case you were wondering.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screens in front of us. 5 if you include yours over there. This week's how many? Chance to win a Big D's pizza, and it's kind of relative to whatever was just on the screen that I don't know what's going on now. How many caution flag laps will be in this year's Daytona 500?
You've got to go first.
Put that question up on the screen. How many caution flag laps? Now, how many caution flags? How many caution flag laps will be in the Daytona 500? How many laps are there in the Daytona 500? It's like 160, 180? I don't even know. I didn't do
200.
Is it 200?
It's a 2.5
okay,
mile
that
track.
makes sense.
And I know math isn't your long
No,
suit,
it's not.
but
I don't.
2.5 miles times 200 is 500.
I don't math. So I have to pick first, huh?
Yes.
I'm going to go with 43.
I got to go 42, Scott. My number was my number was going to be 38. So
Was it
yeah,
42. Okay. If you'd like a chance to win a Big D's pizza, put your guess in on our Facebook Live or YouTube Live comments. So if you're listening to us not live on Spotify or whatever podcasting platform you may be listening to us on, you can still get in on this. We'll give you the race is supposed to be 2:30 on Sunday, so we'll say 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Ooh, that's
So,
generous.
Yeah, so if you're listening to us and it's before 2 o'clock on Sunday, then you can go ahead and get yourself entered to win a Big D's pizza, and it was good. It was really good. There, I had a little left over, and then the next morning,
I don't want to hear about it, Scott.
I had 2 pieces left. The kid ate it. It was gone.
Really?
Yeah, it was gone.
Before you got
Before I could have it as, actually, I think it was the same night. I went back, I wanted more, and
it was in the refrigerator and it was fair
it was
game.
gone. And the pizza, or the cheese boat was very disheartening. So, till noon, and again, it's number of caution flag laps in the Daytona 500. Whoever's closest will win that Big D's pizza. Doesn't matter if you're over or under. It's whoever's closest. That's the only part that matters. And there you go.
I wonder what the average number
I don't know.
is.
I did no homework on that. I just totally pulled that one out of my butt. So that's it. We do have a Hammer Down hotline, and this one was for you. If you'd like to call, leave us a message, give us your opinion about something, have a question about something, anything racing related, do us a favor and call the Hammer Down hotline at 419-318-3081. That's 318-3081. Here's a call that we had. I think it was actually just this morning, as a matter of fact.
Hammer Down Hotline.
Is it true that the chemical cloud over Ohio was a result of Ron Miller making up some of his secret tire dope? Inquiring minds want to know.
I
can't
caught
comment.
red-handed.
Can't comment on that.
Okay.
They don't seem to check for that, so I guess it's not illegal.
Oh, okay then. That's fair enough. this weekend's Big D's Pizza Racing menu. Let's
This weekend's Big D's Pizza Racing menu.
said that. World of Outlaw Case Construction late models are in action tonight through Saturday, the 18th at Volusia Speedway Park. And, of course, the NASCAR Cup Series at Daytona International Speedway tonight for the Blue Green Vacations Duels. I believe duel number, is it still going or did they finish?
No, I don't know if that was, I don't know what we're watching, okay. Scott.
Duel number 1 started at 7, and duel number 2, you got plenty of time. That'll start at 9 o'clock tonight. That determines the starting lineup, the qualifying races.
It appears that the 22 is still racing. So
yeah, so what was
maybe that was a flashback.
It must have been. Yeah, that's what we get for watching it with the audio off. Did Joey win then? I'm not sure if this is live or a rerun or what's going on. But anyways. Also this weekend, the Next Era Energy 250 on Friday for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. That'll be at 7:30 Friday night, the 17th of February on FS1. Saturday, you have a couple events. The Arca Menard Series. Don't forget Frankie Munoz, whatever he pronounces it. Yeah, the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
Right.
He's going to be running in the Arca Series event at Daytona. That race starts at 1:30. That'll be on FS1. The Xfinity Series will race later in the day for the Beef It's What's for Dinner 300. Also Saturday, that'll be at 5 o'clock on FS1. And then, of course, I'm
pretty sure that Logano just won.
He's got his helmet off, and he's parked in an area that seems like he
right on the front stretch.
Daytona 500, Sunday the 19th, 2:30 on Fox, the broadcast network. So you don't need cable or streaming for that. So that is your...
They've been big on sports lately.
Who? Fox? Oh, they have
yeah.
the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, and now Daytona, yeah.
Yeah. And then what? USFL in April? It's race season. Who cares? And that's about it for this edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report.
We went downhill in a hurry after Duane checked out.
Yeah. It's been a long day. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and check out HammerdownRacingReport.com. We got a store on there. We got show info, advertising information. It's all on there. All kinds of good stuff.
Anything you need to know.
You can rate and review us. Share us with your friends. That's good. Our broadcast, not us. You don't. That's weird. Thanks to associate producer Dave Kemmer and contributing contributors.
Yeah.
Matt Swander, John Young, Doug Dock, Bob Stazak. Thanks to our sponsors, Big D's Pizza, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Headhunters Barber Studio and Salon in Perrysburg. And thanks again to Duane Hancock for joining us tonight. We'll be back in action next Thursday at 7 p.m. with their fun-filled, exciting
Duane's
show.
Always a good guest.
Yes, he is. He's a good guy. He's good people.
Does a lot for motorsports.
He does. Yes, he does. He gives a lot. And I have the utmost respect for him. So. See you back here Thursday, 7 o'clock. Until then, have a good night.
Yeah.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.